if you want my advice as an expert, he said, don't base on beauty to marry a woman. Don't say that, no, she's beautiful, that's all I want, that's all I see, that's all I want, so I'm getting married because she's beautiful. The Prophet said, don't do that. Why? Now the reason comes after that. The Prophet says, if you and I marry a woman because of their beauty, what happens? The Prophet said, أَمَّا صَاحِبَةِ الْجَمَالِ فَإِنَّ جَمَالَهَا يُغْرِيهَا. You marry a woman because of the beauty? Always, she is going to be on top of you. إِلَّا إِذَا كَانَتْ مُؤْمِنَةً. If she is mu'minah, alhamdulillah, no problem. But we're talking about a woman when she's not a mu'minah. When she is not a mu'minah, she's not a good believer, a good practicing Muslim. What happens is, as soon as she feels that she's beautiful, she always on top of you. Why? Because she knows if you divorce her, thousands are waiting. Tomorrow somebody's going to take. So why bother? So you are not going to get her to submit and do whatever she wants you have to do as a Muslim woman. So always you always don't have peace of mind. Number two, the Prophet says, if you marry a woman because of her beauty, فَإِنَّ الْجَمَالِ لَا يَدُومُ. Remember always, the woman can be beautiful when she is 16, 18. Look at her when she becomes 70. Maybe it's going to be the same. It's the same person, the same woman. But as age goes, this beauty is not guaranteed that it's going to be there forever. So if I marry a woman because of her beauty, as soon as she started aging, now the beauty is gone. So what happens? The marriage started shaking. Why? Because the cost of marriage is now gone. The Prophet said these are two things to keep in mind about when it comes to marrying someone because of her beauty. Number two, marrying someone because of a position. The Prophet says, don't marry someone because of a position. Why? Because the Prophet says, فَإِنَّ الْمَقَامِ لَا يَدُومُ. Also, position is not guaranteed. How many people you know, there used to be high position in the society. Tomorrow people vote them out and they are not like they used to be. They are like a regular person. So if I marry a woman because of a position, because of the status in the community, tomorrow people took their vote from them or from him, from her, then what happens? The marriage becomes a problem. So Islam says don't base on position. No. Number three, money, the same thing. How many people you and I know? They were wealthy people yesterday, and tomorrow and today they are the poorest people. So if I base on money because she's wealthy, so I'm going to marry her because of that, the Prophet ﷺ tells us that there is no guarantee that she will be wealthy for the rest of her life. That is number three. Number four, the Prophet ﷺ tells us that if you and I marry someone because of a deen, the Prophet says, وَعَلَيْكَ بِذَاتِ الدِّينِ. The Prophet now is going to promise you and I. He said, if you marry a woman because of deen, أَعْطَاكَ اللَّهُ الْجَمَالِ وَالْمَقَامِ وَالْمَالِ. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet telling us that if I marry someone because of deen, he said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what does he do? He brings the jamal, he brings the beauty, he brings also the position, he also brings the money as well, all together. That is to tell us about the importance about deen. A woman who is religious, practicing. That is for women's side. Now what about brothers? The brother, what are the qualities that Islam has told the sister that they can look in a brother to say that this is a good brother for marriage? Also Islam comes to tell, the Prophet says, مَنْ خَطَبَكُمْ أَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوْجُهُ. إِذَا خَطَبَكُمْ مَنْ تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ وَخُلُقَهُ فَزَوْجُهُ. That anybody who comes, تَرْضَوْنَ دِينَهُ, you pleased with his deen. Not about some of us today, inshallah, they are not here. Some of the families, when somebody comes to ask, my daughter's aunt, the first thing asks, do you have an American passport? If you don't have, you're disqualified. Number two, they ask, what degree do you have? Do you have a doctorate degree? No. You don't? You're disqualified. How much money do you have in account? Do you have more than $50,000 in your account? Yes, you're qualified. You don't? You're disqualified. Meaning these are the criteria that we look. That when a person comes to ask our daughter's hand, the first thing we think is about the green card. Hey, do you have... These are ما أنزل الله بها من سلطان. These are the things that we brought for ourselves. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not send it down anywhere, not in the Quran, not in the Sunnah of the Prophet. The Prophet tells us, Man tardawna deena. A man comes to ask my daughter's hand, the first thing I have to look is deen. That is the religion. That's the most important. Then the Prophet says, Man tardawna deenahu wa khulqa. His behavior, his manners. Why the manners is important? Why the Prophet mentioned khuluq in the husband? To be, husband to be. Here because the Prophet, you said Imam Hussein alayhi Abdul Jalil goes in one of the hadith to explain the reason. When a man came to Imam Hussein and asked him, Mimman uzawwaj binti ya ibn Rasulillah. I have a daughter, who should I marry? Imam Hussein didn't say about زوج ابنتك ممن عنده الجواز الأمريكي. Who has the passport of America, give it, or British passport. No. Or if I want to marry that, no. He says, زوج ابنتك. من من? Marry your daughter to whom? Imam says, لمؤمن خلوق. A believer who has a good mind. Why? Then it's like somebody is asking Imam Hussein. He says, لأنه إذا أغضبته لم يظلمها. If he has a good manners, by mistake, if she did something wrong to upset him, he will not be unjust. He will not be violent. He will not go beyond his line or beyond his position, beyond his limit. He will be as nice as he can. That is why Imam Hussein alayhi salam described that as a person, when a person comes to ask our daughters on, these are the qualities we have to look. Ad-Deen wal-Khuluq. Now another point, which is one of the biggest problems. Now who gets to choose